Libra, big positive changes in your work environment, in your health, and as well the last eclipse in Aries in the house of your significant other, your love life with long-term partners, and things to do with your audience marketplace and business partners. This is the last eclipse of 3 in Aries, so you want to know all about how to use this eclipse in March and what it might mean for you. But boy, do you have a lot of shift going on in that work house as we see an eclipse energy coming through the axis of the work and the 12th house, as well as a thousands of years, 1,000-year rare pileup of planets in the house of work and pets. And it can be extremely positive for you on the work and career front. So let's get breaking it down. Welcome. My name's Lori Lothian. I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer using the whole sign house system. The fixed stars and the minor asteroids are my cup of tea. And if you sign up to get the like button hit and notifications, you'll get a lot of that content on my channel. Also, I have a Venus retrograde class coming up, and it's important because it's Venus retrograding through your 7th house of marriage, and long-term love partners from the past will be coming out of the woodwork looking to get back in touch with you. Trust me on this one. But we have a lot more than that. Venus is also retrograding in a way she hasn't done since 2017 that supports some very big changes that are positive in the workplace as well. So let's get going and bring it up. The Venus retrograde class starts March the 1st through to April 12th. 6 classes with me on the weekends, replays available, Facebook group, a collaging party, a lot of fun, bi-weekly Q&As. So if you want to have a high-touch content, navigate this Venus retrograde group of people to hang with, including me, you're going to want to jump into that class. And the information to enroll before March 1st is in the description box below. Hit the more button, ... Cast your chart in whole sign houses, know how to find your ascendant, free tutorials in the description box below. So I'm going to show you the sky. It will be the whole sign house system. Once you go whole sign, you don't go back, but that's because Placidus is very latitude dependent and seasonal dependence, and it really skews the charts for those born in the far north or south of the world. And it could be useful in some ways, but not for predictive astrology, not in the way I use it, which is the ancient tradition. Now, I'm just hoping my microphone is actually plugged in. I just had an anxiousness, but I think it is. Okay. You guys need to hear what happened to my mic last time. So we're doing 25 minutes maximum for each sign. That's my normal thing. You're not getting ripped off. And let's get rolling. So Libra is really a story here that shines brightly in the sky, that you are going through a window of time here where Venus is going to retrograde here with there's an last eclipse in the sky as well. I'm starting there for you because you have to go back to 2023 and recognize that you began April of 23, April of 24, and now March 29th eclipse in Aries. But this time around, you also have Venus, like 2017 spring, retrograding into your 7th house along with the eclipse energy. Venus retrograding is love from the past, people from the past that you were in love with, maybe some female friends from the past, maybe even some business partners from the past. It's Venusian elements from your past returning to you. And we're going to break down when the retrograde activates, but it is beginning March 1st, but not in Aries. Yes, in Aries. So March the 1st to March the 27th. March the 1st to March the 27th. Look for those long lost relationships and business partners and clients from the past to reemerge in your life for some specific reason. It's not just random and wild, but also knowing that the last eclipses here is going to influence how your connection to a long-term marriage partner, business partner, or how you reach your audience and marketplace is going to change. We'll talk about that as we go through the chronological order of the month ahead, right? So starting with the first thing you need to know. March the 1st. I talk fast, slow me down on the playback speed on YouTube. March the 1st to the 8th, we have a starting off with the Sun square Jupiter, while Mercury co-joins Neptune. What a lovely sky we have all at once. So when the Sun happens to be in a condition of square to Jupiter, something good wants to happen. The light is shining in the workhouse, and that looks like on the 2nd, 3rd, a positive development in work or health connected to foreign lands and travel, book publishing, higher education, academics, and legal and court matters. Mercury on Neptune, use that day, on the second or so or third of the month. You're going to feel first, second, and third to dive deeply into, to really feel into the energy here of something to do with dreams come true, visions that you want to create for your work. Be careful. I wouldn't sign a legal contract to do with my work environment, though Mercury's confused in Pisces and Neptune confuses him further, but it's good for high imagination and dreams for what you wish to achieve in your career space, especially with support from Mars to make some significant career and work changes in your life over the course of the next several months. Mercury will sextile Pluto on the 5th of the month, and that is always good for penetrating insight into something that was hidden from view. Now, that's because Mercury slips into the sign of Aries, and you'll notice by March 3rd is heading for a perfect conjunction to Pluto. Perfect sextile to Pluto. Sextiles bring positive developments. This could look like information or news from your significant other that there is a baby on the way. This could look like transformative, cathartic, and regenerative information around sexuality, romance, love, fun, play, pleasure, and entrepreneurial business or creativity. As it hits the mark with an audience, a marketplace, this could be news that your partner, your significant other is giving you to do with developments in their life, especially when it comes to creativity, sexuality, and fertility. Now, it's uncovering something that was hidden and making it into a conversation with somebody. So it could also be a conversation about your child or from your child. And now this conversation is becoming revelatory or something like that, but it's positive. And this is around the 5th of March, a day or two before and after. On the 7th and the 8th, the sun will trine Mars. The sun is the light in the sign of in Pisces, in the house of your work and your health. Now, the sun comes through here once a year and lights up the work and health sky during Pisces season. Also, pets are here, and sometimes rental opportunities, properties to rent or lease. The sun is shining brightly, and it happens to be flowing to Mars in the career space, making this more likely to be a work-related matter. Because your 10th house of career and reputation, Mars is trying to make changes in your career and reputation. The sun is lighting up the idea of lasting and reliable and stable and enduring changes with its flow to Saturn to Mars. So look for a sort of a flashlight moment here around the 7th and 8th. They could look like a golden opportunity in the career space involving the word change of job, change of space, change of role in the company, change of career, change that looks positive, dynamic. And Mars is direct motion as of February 23rd. After tons of backtracking, September, October, he was direct in your 10th house, career matters. Then he retrograded in your 10th house. January 6th, he was retrograding through to February 23rd. And you have a lot of Mars indecision, right? Mars lack of action, Mars stagnation, and the way you want to move forward in your career. But now he is direct as we approach this solar energy, helping him, boost him. So I'd say on a practical note, the 7th and 8th is a great time to take action and make decisions that bolster what you really want to see happen in your career space. On March the 8th and the 14th, we've got a few things, including that eclipse in Virgo. Let's break it down. So around the 11th through the 13th, you're going to notice that there's a Sun-Saturn joining together in your 6th house. And that is an energy that's exact on the 12th, but you'll feel it, give it a nice little range of maybe the 11th to even the 14th. And it's kind of exact on the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th. And so time zones and stuff. So Sun and Saturn, not necessarily the best of friends, by the way, but the Sun is trying to bring divine intelligence to Saturn's stoic hard work in the house of work. So can you shine a light of divine intelligence on the work you're doing? Because a lot of you are exhausted because Saturn makes you a slave to your work. You work too hard, you're overly doing it. And the sun is shining a light here so you can take a stock of that and inspect it. But the sun can be a boss in the workplace, and Saturn is higher ups. And so there's some kind of dynamic energy going on with a higher up in the workplace should you be in a place of employment. Otherwise, you could be hiring someone new. But if you're in an employment place, then you're looking at some new development here. There were 2 conjunctions here, one in 23, one in 24 spring, and this is a third one in 25. What is it you want to reset in the work environment that's going to be more realistic, doesn't overstress you to workaholism. You're going to be motivated to drive hard, be ambitious to get what you want, but it may be in a more balanced way, which every Libra strives for. And the sextile to Uranus of that Sun Saturn conjunction has me intrigued. That's chunky money. That's like a massive tax rebate, a sign-on package, a severance bonus, a massive commission check, some kind of chunk of unexpected algal wealth star Uranus money in the house of chunky money. I can't even begin to guess what it could be. It certainly could allow you to pay down a debt. I'm not sure where it's coming from. It's also could be a chunk of money coming to you from your significant other in their life and a chunk of their money blessing both of you. But this is a sky that says chunk of money coming. That's all I can tell you. Chunk of money coming. So, or a increase of financial wellness in an exciting and unexpected way. And that looks like it's going to definitely come into being around the 11th to the 14th of the month of March. Now, when we get to the 14th, there is a total lunar eclipse, a blood moon. It's happening at 23 degrees of Virgo. Virgo for you is a subtle house. This is not likely to change your circumstances in life. I will only give it this. It's an eclipse in the house of hospitals. It's a feminine energy. It's lunar, south node. A female in your life may be in a hospital setting as a result of the lunar, and I mean mother figure, not like a peer relationship. A lunar mother figure may end up in a hospital setting off of a Virgo full moon eclipse. This total lunar eclipse happens on the 23rd degree of Virgo on the 14th of the month of March. If you have planets in your sky at 23 degrees of Virgo in the sign of Gemini, Sagittarius, or Pisces or Virgo, those planets are highly activated by this full moon eclipse. You want to join my channel because I'll be doing a bunch of eclipse stories, even maybe a free eclipse webinar. But I want to just say also, the full light is being eclipsed, but it still is blood red. And there's a way that Austin Kopek got me onto the idea of the luminol at a crime scene. What is being lit up that you couldn't see? An eerie red light shows you, like a black light poster, what was invisible. And this is a house of your unconscious. So this is a house of your own family of origin traumas, maybe things to do with ancestral line traumas, maybe things to do with your past lives, your inner life. And there may be a big illumination for you of something that was hidden from view. And the south node is important here because, well, the north node is increasing your work success as a Libra through till summer of 2026 in a way that hasn't happened, with the eclipses through Virgo and Libra hasn't happened since 2006, 7, and 8. There's something that wants to be illuminated from the depths of your soul so that the career success can be coming from a more informed place. And so a lunar eclipse in the 12th house may also, it could eclipse your home. Okay, it could eclipse your home because of career matters. So in other words, a change of home because of change of career. And some of you could even have a change of home connected to the word distant shores. So, if you live in California, New York City is a distant shore or far off land. So a significant change of home could occur for some of you Libras from this transit. Now, when we move into the rest of the month, before we do that, I need to talk about Mercury on the 15th. He stations retrograde. Mercury will station retrograde at 9 degrees of Aries. And he will do that in the house of committed long-term love. And therefore, it is like the Venus retrograde here as well. Venus retrograding here March the 1st to the 27th through your 7th house. But then also Mercury retrograding now March the 15th to the 27th. Beyond that, March the 15th to March 30th, pretty well says that you're going to hear from a lot of former spouses or long-term committed love partners or business partners you've been out of touch with, or legal contracts from the past return for revision. And so there's a huge back to the past going on here for you during those 2 cycles that I mentioned. Venus retrograding here. That's definitely the former loves getting in touch, emails, phone calls, text messages, no doubt about it, or business partners or significant others in your life. So look for that Venus story, March the 1st to the 27th, as she retrogrades through your 7th house. But also look for the same energy March the 15th to the 30th, when Mercury's retrograding through your 7th house. So Mercury will continue backwards until April 7th, but he turns around in the work house. And that also indicates work opportunities from your past can emerge for you March the 30th to April 7th. So, old colleagues, coworkers, people from the past coming back, and then, maybe new job offers and legal contracts that result from that as well. Now, the second half of the month is quite busy. So I'm going to try my best to keep it simple. But as we move between the 15th or so and the 15th to the 31st is one big pile up. Let's start off with Sun Neptune conjunction on around the 19th, 20th, because that's the first major thing after the eclipse. So on March the 20th, on March the 19th, Anaretic, final degree, Sun is co-joined with Neptune. It's kind of a really good spotlight on your goals and dreams and visions, or your illusions and delusions about health matters and work matters. It can definitely illuminate a health challenge that you've been unable to figure out and give you the solution. You've had the Sun Neptune here anyway every spring since 2023. But it's definitely illuminating health, pets, rental opportunities, and matters to do with career, and getting some clarity about where things might be foggy. It's also intense because it's 29 degrees, and you might be on the cusp of a major career change and just trying to figure out what's real and what's Memorex, or what's illusion and what's real here. And as we also notice that as this conjunction is occurring, we see that Venus is getting ready to do something incredible, as she is at 4 degrees and Pluto is at 3, and there's a retrograde sextile. So, sexuality, romance, and romantic love, Pluto, catharsis, depths, vulnerability, regeneration, explosive energy, but positively connected to Venus, could help you in some way revise your connection to your own sexuality, to love and romance as a theme, as long-term committed partnerships to as a theme, by investigating things from your past, but also because someone that you were involved with romantically in your past returns to you. Now, it is positive here. So even if you're with someone already, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. But if you're single and someone from your past returns into your life, and it doesn't have to be far past, it could be somebody you met when Venus was going direct through Aries, okay, which she was going direct from Aries February 4th, right, to March the 1st. So did you meet someone you were interested in February 4th to March the 1st as a single Libra? Because that person might be rolling back your way, coming back for a second pass to investigate, is there something we have here? Is this a relationship that we could take off on? So, but also the distant past as well. So look for that beautiful intensity. There will be another third sextile, and that's why you want to take the class. When she goes direct, you'll see this happening again, and that'll be happening in the month of May. Well, yeah, probably in the month of May. Now, another cool thing that's happening is that there is a big pileup not seen for thousands of years here. And just before that pileup, you know how Venus gets all hot and bothered with Pluto in the sex romance house? Watch Mercury just say, I'm going to chime in. I just love how Mercury comes over and says, me too, on the 23rd, 24th of the month. Look for emails, phone calls, text messages, conversations, former love relationships, business partners, or clients from the past that could open up entrepreneurial or creative opportunities, fun, play, pleasure, leisure travel with these people, and or the budding or rebudding of a relationship. A romantic relationship. Okay. Now, the pile up that I really like is coming on the 27th. There are going to be 5 planets in your 6th house, not seen for thousands of years. Transformational because it's on the 6-12 axis. It's a house of karma. And so you could really be burning through with the South Node in the 12th house, ancestral line, family of origin, and past life karmic patterns that don't serve you the last week of March. Keep that in mind. It's so rare. Now, the 24th of March to the 31st, Saturn is in an ongoing sustained sextile. On the 24th, to the 31st, Saturn is an ongoing sustained sextile to Uranus. unexpected, surprising developments that bring stability to your health, your pets, your rental situations, and your work. Connected to chunks of money. I don't know where the chunks of money are coming from. You don't earn them on your paycheck. Again, massive sign-on bonus, a massive stock investment taking off, an unexpected shocking inheritance from your family or your partner's family, but it's a kind of cash infusion of some sort that feels like a nice surprise. And it's 24th to even into early April, like April 2nd, 3rd, this vibe is playing out. Now, at the same time, this gorgeous sextile is occurring between Saturn and Uranus. We also have Mars in a trine to Saturn. Now, Mars and Saturn mean working hard and getting shit done and having success and achievement happen. And because it's always a good thing when these two planets work together, it's like really being able to work in a sustained hard work effort without burning out because you've got the stamina to do it in a flowing and harmonious way. Well, this is good for your career and work. And I will suggest to you as a prescription that starting or even on the 20th, you see this already active on March 24th, but I mean, it's probably even active as early as, I would even count it March 21st. So yeah, well, March 21st, right? Through until the end of the month, actually into early April, into like, this is great, guys. So here's my prescription, right? Well, I'm just going to see, when does that kind of wane out a bit? Yeah. So it's kind of coming to the out of April 7th. Okay. So what is it you want to do in your career? What is it you want to do in your career and workspace that you can use March 21st to April 7th as sustained, focused, determined action, gumption and passion with perseverance and discipline, because you can succeed in expanding your role in your work and your career and your health through the way you're taking actions and decisions and working in your career space. You don't have a career, you're retired. What are you doing the world is seeing you do that you consider to be an act of service? But this is a good time to plan for sustained effort on a project or something you want to do in the work that can increase your success because you have unstoppable determination that brings great success. What about the last eclipse? We're going to spend a little time here because it's so important to you. You know, when we had an eclipse in April of 2023, it wasn't a full-on eclipse in your 7th house of long-term committed love, business partnerships, and friendships and marriage. It was a half-assed because we also had the South Node, the North Node still in the 8th house. It may involve financial partnerships, money coming through your spouse, or an opening for new beginnings to do with money and resources connected to alliances and partnerships, including in business. Okay, that was the April of 23 eclipse at 29 Aries. And then we had an eclipse that was a full-on entrenched in Aries, total solar eclipse, April the 8th at 19 Aries, obviously impacting Libra, sun and moon and rising closer to 19 degrees. But that eclipse was all about relationship. Some of you might have found that April of 2024 until this March 29th eclipse, your primary long-term love and business relationships were very rocky or destabilized as this eclipse has tried to reset a button and heal you of a chironic wound in the house of committed love and long-term partnership, as if you need to finally get rid of what wound holds you back from being in a committed and long-term love story, particularly with this eclipse sextiling Pluto, so you can go to deep, cathartic, regenerative, transformational places within the love and romance and sexual part of your life. I'm not going to lie, this can be so transformative. You might discover you're really gay, or you want to be with the other gender, or, you know, or something like that. But it is important for you to know that it's working on your behalf. Second of all, this eclipse that's coming up March 29th activates the work house, the North Node in the health and work, pets and rentals. Now, then it's very practical. You and a marriage partner type relationship that exists may get a pet, may rent a new property. You might get a new job contract that you have to sign on the dotted line. It's legal contract, 7th house, work opportunity, 6th house. When will this happen? Well, this is an eclipse. So it is not the day of the eclipse. It never is. It is a solar eclipse, and it means that up to at least 6 weeks before the eclipse, some of this may rumble into your perception, right? So we're talking about, mid-February, and then it can show you what it's really got up to a year later. I find solar eclipses are very revelatory within 6 months afterward. So don't have to wait that long. By the end of this year, March, April, May, June, July, August, by the fall, you should know what this is for. It could be a new job, a new pet, a new rental property opportunity with a partner, a new business partnership in a work setting. It could be a beginning of a new love romance coming from the place of work, or a new work relationship coming from love. So you and your marriage type partner create a business together. You're in a work setting and you meet a new love story, especially for single Libra. So it's exciting. And it's positive. And the North Node says it's going to bring you some more worldly success in the work environment as well. So look forward to that eclipse. If you are a Libra sun, moon, and rising, closer to 9 degrees, of course, this is going to reverb on the axis of self and other, really impacting those relationships. And possibly if you're in a non-fulfilling, wounded relationship and the healing is to have that relationship end, well, certainly that could be a solution. Right. So if you didn't end a relationship from the March of 23 and the March of April 23, April 24 Aries eclipses, then this last one gives you a last chance to see if this relationship is for you. But if you're single, then, as I said, destined relationships, maybe through the work axis and through the house of work, pets. Maybe you go walk your pet down the street and you meet the neighbor with the dog or cat, and next thing you know, you're in a new relationship, right? That's what I got for you. All right, walk into a pet store, meet your soulmate. I got a roll. I got a foot massage. I'm recording this for you guys on February 18th. My Patreon community gets it early access ad free. Check out everything about me in the description box. You might want to join my Patreon community where I teach classes and see you up to 3 Zoom calls a month, and you get first dibs on readings with me, etc. Although I have very few. If my spots open up, I now reserve those spots for Patreon community members. All right, thanks for listening. Take a look at that. Take a gander at that Venus retrograde class, because Venus is your goddess, right? She's the ruler of your sign. You might want to join in. Thank you. I think that's 25 minutes. Bye-bye.